Hey guys, and welcome back to more AFK Journey. I've been having so much fun playing this game for the past couple of weeks, testing out different team compositions, getting new characters, and also doing a bunch of the different endgame content that they have. So today I'll be showing you some of the new things that are in the game, and if you also want to try out this game yourself, I will be showing you how you can do that today. First up, let's talk about how you can actually try out this game, even though it's technically not released. So as of making this video, AFK Journey is currently on their public test run version, or PTR in short. Think of this as like a beta test, but anyone can join, and it's basically close to being the final release version of the game. This is the perfect time to test out AFK Journey to see how you like it, because you can get a lot of rewards from the mail very frequently, so that means that you can get more characters easily, and you can really mess around with different team compositions to see what you like. Currently, the AFK Journey PTR is only available in the UK, Australia, Canada, Malaysia, and in the Philippines. But if you are outside of those 5 countries, you don't have to worry because there's still a way for you to try out this game. Step 1, you have to download your game on your phone or by using an emulator like BlueStacks. Even if you're planning to use the PC client, you still have to download the mobile version of the game because that is how you will be making your account. If you are in the UK, Australia, Canada, Malaysia, or the Philippines, you should be able to see AFK Journey in the Play Store. But if you're not in any of those countries, or if you're using an emulator, then you have to go to the APK Peer website and download AFK Journey from there. I will provide a link to that in the description below, so just click on the link and download the APK file for this game. After that, the game is going to ask you to download a bunch of game files, so simply go ahead and do that, and then once you're inside the game, make sure that you link your account to any of the social media options available so that you can keep the progress that you make. If you want to play on mobile, then you're pretty much good to go, but if you want to play on PC, now that you have an account, all you have to do is to download a dedicated PC client so that you can get the best experience possible on PC. I will also have a link to that in the description below, so definitely check that out and download the game on PC. Once you have finished downloading everything, simply log in using the account that you have created, and now you can start your journey in AFK Journey. Next up, let's actually talk about some of the things that were added during the latest patch that was released not too long ago. So the first one is going to be a brand new hero called Antandra, who is a physical tank from the Mauler faction. Before she was released, the only other elite hero tank that we had was Lucius, so it's really good to have another tank that is very accessible because there's quite a few situations where you would actually want to run a double tank setup in your team. Like for my case, I haven't actually gotten any of the epic hero tanks, so having Antandra as another tank option is really good. Going over what she actually does, Antandra is going to be a pocket tank, or basically the defensive support for your main tank. Her skill 1 is going to affect Antandra herself and your ally at the very front of the formation. She is going to apply a shield, and the shield is going to be based on her ally's max HP. Once you get this to level 2, the 15-second cooldown on her skill 1 is going to be reduced by 3 seconds for every 10% HP lost by the character she is guarding. So that is going to be really strong, especially if your main tank is taking a lot of hits. Moving on, Antandra's second skill is going to deal 3 instances of damage that will also reduce the enemy's attack by 20% for 6 seconds. This is pretty much in line with her Guardian role, where she is both reducing the damage taken using her skill 1 and also reducing the incoming damage using her skill 2. As for Antandra's ultimate, she is going to set her shield up and taunt the enemies within 2 tiles for 1 second, reducing her damage taken by 60% and gaining crowd control immunity for 5 seconds. Afterwards, she is going to stun her surrounding enemies for 2 seconds and also deal 400% of her attack as damage while also knocking them down. On top of that, she is going to heal herself for 20% of her max HP with an extra 8% for each enemy hit by her ultimate. And then getting her ultimate up to level 4 is going to give her an additional 10% physical defense for each enemy hit by her ultimate, stacking up to 6 times. The physical defense buff doesn't have a timer, so you can permanently get a 60% physical defense buff throughout the whole fight. And then finally, once you get her exclusive equipment, she will gain the ability to reduce the incoming damage for herself and her protected ally by 40% for 10 seconds, and this will activate when Antandra's HP drops below 50%. Antandra is just overall a really good tank because she brings a lot of utility and she will significantly improve your main tank's survivability. She is not going to be the best solo tank, and you're probably better off using Lucius for that, but if you want a bit more damage output from your tank, then Antandra is going to give you just that. I was able to use her as a solo tank against one of the enemies in the Dream Realm stages, but that is also because the boss was not doing a ton of damage, so my healer was more than capable of keeping up with the damage taken. I would probably give her an 8 out of 10 and maybe even 9 after you get her exclusive equipment. Next up, let's talk about some of the changes that were made during the most recent patch. The first one, and probably one of the biggest changes, is the change that they made to the user interface to improve the player experience. Because before this update, the only way you can play on full screen landscape on PC is to open up the game on a vertical monitor, because that's the only way to see the full screen option, and then you will have to transfer the game window on a landscape monitor. But after the update, we now have 3 different screen display settings available. You have portrait, landscape, and full screen. Along with this change, they also made the user interface look a lot cleaner. Some of the menus now have a border beside them if you are playing on landscape full screen. So it's really convenient because the icons are not as too far to the side as it used to be. A lot of the menus just look way better now, so I really like the changes that they made in this department. Another big change that they made is in regards to the cost of upgrading A-level heroes. Ascending A-level heroes from Elite Plus to Epic no longer consumes acorns. Instead, it requires 2 soul sigils of the corresponding hero, aka 2 duplicates. And when it comes to ascending from Epic to Epic Plus, the required soul sigils are reduced to 3. This is big news because it's now easier to ascend your A-level heroes to increase your level cap. For most players, the 5 characters in your resonating hall are going to be A-level heroes. A-level heroes are just easy to come by, so even if you're not using all of them, just having a character with a higher level cap is always going to be better. This is also coming in a clutch for my account because for the longest time, I actually had Cecia on my resonating hall. But once I got close to level 100, I can no longer put her in the resonating hall because I haven't gotten any dupes for her, so that means that I can't increase her level cap. Just for reference, I have these characters in my resonating hall, and all of them are A-level heroes. I just managed to get multiple copies of them, so now I have them at Epic Plus and Legendary. And there are a bunch more changes that were made, and the patch notes are actually a bit long, so there's a lot of content to unpack with this update. For the majority of the character changes, I haven't actually gotten around to testing some of them. I believe that there were a total of 23 characters whose abilities were adjusted or straight up reworked. If you ask me, that is quite a lot, so I will probably be making a future video about that instead. And then lastly, one more thing I really liked about this update is that they added a new boss for the Dream Realm. And the Dream Realm is basically an activity that you can participate in, where you have multiple bosses in rotation, and you try to deal as much damage as you can, so that you can be placed on a leaderboard. From what I know, each of the bosses have 2 difficulties, and after you clear the first one, you actually get a free A-level hero. And then, after you clear the next one, you're going to get 5 tickets for the Epic Hero Recruitment banner. Overall, I have been having so much fun with this game, and I just love the fact that you don't have to spend so much time in doing dailies or even weeklies. So if you have gotten this far into the video, I definitely recommend you try out this game before it releases very soon. With that being said, that is pretty much everything I have for this video. And as always, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.